One of the hardest parts of midlife reinvention isn't learning something new. It's not figuring out a new career. It isn't starting a business. It isn't even learning how to use technology or stepping into something completely unfamiliar. Those things can be very challenging, but there's something even harder. It's letting go of the person you've spent decades becoming. And that can be one of the most painful parts of change. Because the truth is, many of us spend 20, 30, even 40 years building a life that made sense for who we were at the time. We built careers, we raised families, we became responsible, dependable, reliable, the person everyone can count on. And those roles become so deeply attached to our identity that we eventually stop seeing them as things we do. We start seeing them as who we are. I am the job. I am my job. I am the provider. I'm the one who keeps everything together. I'm the person who always puts others first. And then one day, something inside you starts whispering, there has to be more than this. You might not even understand why you feel it. From the outside, your life might look successful. You might have the career, the house, the family, the responsibilities, everything you spent years working towards. But internally, there's a quiet voice asking, is this all there is? Is this how I want to spend the next 20 or 30 years of my life? Who am I outside of the roles I've played? That moment can be terrifying because the moment you begin to question your old identity, you begin a process of letting go of it. And today I want to talk to you about that process. It's not a sign that something's wrong with you. It's actually a sign that you're growing. See, most of us never intentionally choose our identity. We build it gradually. When we're young, we receive messages about who we should be, work hard, be responsible, get a stable job, provide for your family, don't complain, keep going. Success often becomes connected to achievement, the promotion, the title, the income, the ability to take care of others. And there's nothing wrong with those things per se. Many of those qualities helped you build the life that you have today. They represent your commitment, your discipline, your willingness to sacrifice, your strength, even. But every identity has a cost. The person who's always strong might struggle to ask for help. The person who always puts everyone else first before them might lose connection with their own dreams because they're thinking of everybody else. The person who always focuses on achievement may never stop long enough to ask if they're actually happy. They just keep achieving. And after decades of repeating these same patterns, we wake up one day and realize, I don't even know what I want anymore. That realization can be very painful, but it is also incredibly powerful because that awareness is the beginning of transformation. You can't reinvent a life that you're not willing to examine. That's what it comes down to. I speak a little passionately about this because I've experienced it. I've had to go through a total reinvention in my early 30s. And it was such a battle, an identity battle that I went through. And then I've had to go through it again in the last year, um, just because I couldn't do the work that I'm experienced at doing it the way I was doing it. So that had somewhat of an identity shift as well in it. But here's what makes midlife reinvention so difficult. Part of you wants growth, part of you wants safety. And those two paths or parts often start fighting each other. One side says, I want something different. Well, I want more freedom. I want to explore who I really am. I want to build something that belongs to me. But the other side or the other voice immediately responds, You're too old. What if you fail? What will people think? You already have something secure. Why risk it? That voice can be incredibly convincing. And it's not because it's telling you the truth. Understand that. Just because it's there and it's making you feel more at ease, it's not because it's telling you the truth. It's because it's trying to protect you. So your brain is designed to keep you safe and familiar. Even if familiar no longer makes you fulfilled. Think about that for a moment. Many people stay in situations that make them unhappy simply because they're predictable. They stay in careers that no longer excite them, they no longer love. They continue routines that drain them on a daily basis. They continue living according to a version of themselves that existed 20 years ago. Not because they're incapable of changing, but because change requires releasing certainty. And releasing certainty can feel like losing a part of yourself. See, this is the part of reinvention that many people never talk about. Sometimes growth involves grief. You may need to grieve the person you used to be. I experienced that my first reinvention. It was in my 30s, my early 30s. It was hard. I didn't even know how to process it. But there was grieving that was happening. And I know that may sound strange. Why would you grieve yourself? Because that old version of you carried you through so many seasons of life. That person worked so hard. That person sacrificed. That person made difficult decisions. That person did the best they could with the knowledge that they had. So letting go doesn't mean rejecting your past. It doesn't mean saying your old choices were all mistakes. It means recognizing that who helped you survive one chapter of your life may not be who helps you thrive in the next chapter. Think about a child. Think about a child who outgrows their favorite pair of shoes. The shoes weren't bad. They were perfect for that season. They supported them, protected them, allowed them to walk, run, explore, but eventually they no longer fit. Holding on to them doesn't really honor them. It prevents growth. The same is true with your identity. Some beliefs, habits, definitions of success simply no longer fit the person that you're becoming. And that's okay. That's okay. One of the most powerful things you can do in midlife is give yourself permission to redefine what success means. Maybe success used to mean climbing the ladder. Now it means freedom. I know it certainly does for me in my personal experience. Maybe success used to mean earning more money. Now it means having more time. Maybe success used to mean proving yourself to everyone around you. But now it means finally being honest with yourself. See, there's no rule that says the definition of success you created at 25 has to remain your definition at 50 or 60, even 40. You've changed. Your experience have changed you. Your priorities have changed. Your values have evolved. Why would your definition of a meaningful life stay exactly the same? One of the greatest gifts of midlife is wisdom. You have enough life experience to know what truly matters. The question is, are you willing to listen to that wisdom? See, reinvention is not about becoming someone completely different. It's about uncovering parts of yourself that have been buried underneath years of responsibility and expectation. Maybe the creative side of you, maybe the adventurous side, maybe the entrepreneur, maybe the person who always dreamed of helping others. That version of you has been there. It's been there all along. It's simply been waiting for permission. But something important has to happen first. You have to make space. You can't hold tightly to every old belief. There's got to be a purge. You can't hold tightly to every old expectation, to every old identity while trying to become someone new. Usually, to take something new in, there's got to be a release of something old. What do I need to get rid of to become who I need to become? What do I need to bring in to become who I need to become or want to become? Right? Growth requires release. Just like a tree that sheds its own leaves. Why? To make room for new growth. We got to do the same thing. We have to be willing to release what no longer serves us. And that process is not comfortable. But discomfort doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. Sometimes discomfort is the actual evidence that transformation is happening. Okay? In closing, if you're standing at a point in your life where you feel called towards something different, I want you to hear this. You're not broken. You're not having a crisis. You're not failing because the life that once worked for you no longer feels right. You are evolving. The person you were helped get you here. Respect that person. You worked hard. Thank that person. Honor everything they carried and everything they overcame. But don't force yourself to remain someone you have outgrown. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to dream big again. You're allowed to redefine success, as we discussed. And you're allowed to become a new version of yourself, not because the old version wasn't enough, but because there are still parts of you waiting to be discovered. Your next chapter doesn't require you to erase who you've been. It requires you to carry forward the wisdom and leave behind what no longer fits. That's not abandoning yourself. That's finally becoming more fully yourself, a more complete self. And that may be the most powerful reinvention of all. So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, I know something needs to change, but I don't even know where to begin. I created something specifically for moments like this. It's called the 15-minute reset. It's a very simple guided exercise, and it's designed to help you slow down, quiet the noise, and begin reconnecting with what you truly want. Because that's what we're trying to do, is trying to find out what you truly want in this next chapter of your life. You don't need to have all the answers today. You don't need to have your entire life figured out. You just need a place to start. So you'll find the link to the download for the 15-minute reset in the description below. And if this video helped you see yourself a little differently today, make sure to like this video, please, and subscribe to the channel. And join me every week as we continue navigating what it truly means to reinvent yourself in midlife. And remember this, you're not too old, you're not too late. The best version of your life may still be waiting for you to give yourself permission to begin. So before we finish, if this conversation resonated with you, I encourage you to go back and watch last week's video, Why Midlife Reinvention Feels So Lonely Sometimes. Because one of the things many people discover on this journey is that letting go of who you used to be can feel incredibly isolating. And understanding why you feel that way can be one of the most powerful steps toward moving through it. We'll see you in the next video.